Hey everybody, it's me, John Ward, and I am back with another Dark Park Film Reviews. And you knew it was coming. You knew it was going to happen. This is the final, allegedly, Tom Cruise video. So a lot like the Michael Bay final video, um, same idea. And kind of like also with Michael Bay, until he does something new or until Tom Cruise does something new, which, if you look him up, he's always doing something new. This will be the last video for a while. I went through my entire collection. I went through everything, and I believe I have everything right here. I think this is it. I don't think I missed anything. So how this is going to work is the last thing we're going to be looking at are 1 to 2 movies. It depends on what I own, of directors that have worked with Tom Cruise. But these films are not Tom Cruise movies. These are other films that they've made. And I just kind of want to give them a spotlight. I got 2 stacks. We're not going to look at special features. We'll look at the DVDs themselves, front, back, inside. If they come with any goodies or whatever, we'll look at those. But no special features. It's going to take way too long. From there, I have like a little stack here of just some other movies that we're going to take a look at, which are some new additions to the Tom Cruise collection. From there, we are then going to look at some VHS. And then we're going to be looking at some posters, and we got some Funko Pops, and then just kind of some random collectible stuff that I've picked up. Some of this stuff might be, repeats from other videos, but I just wanted to get everything and put it in here and just make one video with everything. I thought of dividing it up, but no, I'm just going to do everything as one video. And so let's get to this. So what we're going to look at first is something that I think is really cool, and it's a replica. So in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, there is a key, and it's called a cruciformed key. That's the key that everybody's trying to find. It comes in 2 pieces. You put them together, and basically it's supposed to turn off the entity. And so you see it throughout the movie. Everybody's fighting for it. Well, I went on to eBay and I just typed in replica cruciformed key, and a bunch came up. And I picked one that I thought looked the best and was a reasonable price. And this is it. This is it right here. This is the cruciformed key. It's the actual size too. So it's to scale of the cruciformed key. And it does come in 2 pieces. So you can slide it. Let me just see how. Yeah. Like this. And then they fit back in. So in the movie, Tom Cruise does that magic trick where he has them like this. And this is what he's in the airport with Grace, because he has one and she has one. But, sleight of hand, now he has both. And first he goes, how about my key? Well, now how about, your key, type of thing. And when we see it, it goes back in like this to make the key. So this I display on my bookshelf. I probably do need to paint these little dots here, because in the film, they're like little jewels, and they are different colors. They're like red, green, blue, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to mess this up. So unless I can find, like a friend who actually does painting pretty well, maybe like those little figures, then maybe I'll have, that person put the colors on here, the correct colors. But until then, it stays just like this. So this is one of the coolest things that's in my collection. I really dig this key. I like it a lot. I put it high up on a shelf so my cats can't get it because I'd hate to come home and find it all chewed up. So now, kind of going along with Mission Impossible, there's a pin. So if you went, the movie had like a fan screening on a Monday. It opened on a Thursday, like a Wednesday or a Thursday. They were giving out a poster and the pin. So this is one of the pins. You put it on your shirt, and it says IMF, so Impossible Mission Force. It's got the name of the movie with Cruise doing that jump on the motorcycle. This will not come out of the package. I will just stay right in there. So this was kind of cool. And then for Top Gun Maverick, they did the same thing. You basically got like a poster, and then you got the pin. Unfortunately, I feel like an idiot because I should have purchased at the snack bar like the large popcorn and the cup that went along with both films. I did find them on eBay. Maybe sometime down the road, I'll pick those up to add to the collection. But I feel I should have picked it up. And once again, this will stay just in this package here. I did take a trip to Walmart, and I always take a look in their coffee mug section for like movie mugs, and they had this, so I had to pick it up. Out of all the movies, Top Gun Maverick coffee mug. So it says "Talk to Me, Goose," which I think was kind of odd, because he never says. I don't think he ever says "Talk to Me, Goose" in the movie. In the first film, he does, but not in the second one. And I don't think his son in the movie, Goose's son, says "Talk to Me, Goose." So, I mean, it's a famous line. So maybe there isn't a famous line from Top Gun Maverick yet. And on the bottom here, it does say Top Gun Maverick, Paramount Pictures. So this came out in 2023. So it's an official coffee mug. I was at Smith's one day and I saw this at the register and I went, do I want this? Do I not? Yes, I better buy this because I know I'm going to regret it if I don't. And this it's a Mission Impossible magazine. So it's unofficial. Mission Impossible, the ultimate fan guide. And it just says, I am Mission Impossible. And it looks through the TV show, it looks through all the movies. This is actually really good. I'm glad that I picked this up. It was $13.99, so not too bad. I got this, it looks like, yeah, probably September of 2023, because it says display until October 2nd, 2023. So I probably picked this up in September of that year. So we'll take a quick glance through here. So it kind of goes in order of things. It talks about the show. It talks about the revival of the show that was in the 90s. Gets into Tom Cruise. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Let me go kind of move a little forward here. Mission Impossible 2. Fallout. Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt, who was a brand new character just made for the movies. Looks like it talks about other action films, stunts. Yeah, doing the jump, like the Halo jump. The great fight scene from Fallout in the bathroom. The greatest motorcycle chase in film history. That scene with that motorcycle in Rogue Nation, you could actually see Cruise's like foot hit the ground. It's either his foot or his knee, and he quickly pulls it back up. So it's real. Talk about Luther. Now there's this thing, C8. So I'm guessing Cruise 8, maybe? More than another movie? Because this isn't Mission Impossible 8. This is actually Dead Reckoning is part 7. Who knows what they're going to do with part 8? I don't think it's called Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning part 2 anymore. It's called something else. So we'll see what happens. My prediction on part 8 is before the beginning credits, they're going to finish this. They're going to get the key, they're going to shut down the entity, and then the fuse will be lit, maybe blowing up the submarine, and then we'll go to the credits. And then it'll be a whole new movie. What I read online is part 8, its budget just keeps skyrocketing. So maybe they're doing reshoots, but that is not a good sign if it's because excuse me, because Dead Reckoning Part 1 is like one of the most expensive movies ever made. It bombed in the box office, unfortunately. And I really liked it, but it will probably never recoup its money. So there we go. That's the magazine, which is pretty cool. I haven't looked it up on eBay or anything, so I'm not sure what it's worth, but you could probably still find it. But like I said, I knew I would regret it if I didn't buy it, because that's how I normally work. Like at the time, and then a year later, it's like, damn, why didn't I get that? The next thing that we're going to be looking at here are Funko Pops. If you saw my Funko Pop video, these were added to that. But because it's Tom Cruise, and like I said, I have everything here, I'm going to show them again. So, and I did bring this up, and I've even seen some other videos that talk about Tom Cruise or like Funko Pops will never get. Cruise is brought up. He doesn't sell his likeness. So Mission Impossible games, Top Gun games, it's not him. It's a different face, even though it's supposed to be Maverick or Ethan Hunt. Rarely is he in any other movies. He's in, of course, Tropic Thunder. He's in Austin Powers and Goldmember. And I think that he probably controls that. He is in one other film that I have right here, but we're going to look at it later. So as far as Funko Pops go, you just can't find them. You can only find the Mummy. Now, I did mention in the Funko Pop video that there is a company that's in the UK where they will do specialized Funko Pops that look like 100% like the real thing. And I have that here. So let me take, they are called Glitz Customs. So somebody over there paid to have a Top Gun Maverick one done. You can see it says Glitz Customs right there. Someone else had his character from The Last Samurai done. These things look identical to Funko Pop. And maybe because they're made out of the country, out of the US, maybe they can't do anything, or maybe there is a deal set up. But they do have the stickers. I do want to get a Top Gun, and I do want to get a Mission Impossible. I want an Ethan Hunt. So we'll see what happens with that. But because they're not cheap. I think to get it shipped over here and made and everything, it's probably around $100 from what I remember. Even on the Funko Pop website, when you can Funko Pop yourself, or pop yourself, as they say, it's still around $70. So it's not cheap stuff, but it can be done if you want it. So here's the first one for the Mummy. I'm going to go in order of their numbers. So this is 434. So this is the Mummy. This is after she changes into the Mummy. I think that it's a good looking pop. There's the 3 characters right there. And then, now this is her before she becomes the Mummy. This is 435. And I think it's pronounced Hamet. Hamet. I could be wrong. It's probably close. And then this is the Tom Cruise one. So this is 436. This is Rick Morton, his character. Looks like he's holding binoculars. Actually, it does kind of look like him. So these are out of print. You can, I would say that they're rare to find, but they kind of are, and they're kind of not. I'm really hoping that this is not a fake Funko Pop, because they do make them. I bought this for $70. I threw it on a credit card. I said I have to have it. I have seen them on eBay anywhere from like the $70 I paid for up to like $200, $300. I think I even saw one that was $500. I know kind of what to look for when you're looking for a fake. A lot of the times the paint will be off, and this paint is not off. Like, will actually go onto his skin. The skin could be a different color, like maybe it's more tan. And so far, this looks real. Because I'm not seeing any flaws really, but I've never taken them out of the box, and I never will. I put them in this plastic box. So this is a Funko box. I'll take him out now. So it comes in, it's the top of it says Funko Pop. I got this at Target. I bought two. They're $8 each. And the other plastic box like this is on my Tony Stark Iron Man Funko Pop that I think is going to be worth money. So I put it on that. Plus, it's probably one of my favorite pops. So here it is here without, so you can see it a little better. This is one of the first ones that I purchased. It will stay in here. Rarely will I ever take it out. If somebody wants to look at it, that's fine, but they can look at it in this container. They cannot, their hands will not get on this except for mine. So yeah, I think out of all of these, this is probably my most valuable and most expensive. So, and like I said, I do think it's real. I don't think this is a fake one. So let's put these back here. Okay, so the next thing we're going to take a look at are posters. And some of these I took right off my wall. They're framed. Some aren't, because they're duplicates that I got, and they're in storage, but I took those out. So here are the ones that I basically have in storage. And let's see, how can I do this? We'll put this here. Okay. So this is the one that I got at the Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, that fan screening. They gave them out at the end of the movie along with that pen. So I had this displayed for a while, and then I'll show you the one I replaced it with. But it does say right down here, limited edition 2023. I hope they continue doing this. I really love that they do this with their movies. It shows that they care about the fans. And so I got this and I got the pen. Then I was at the theater about a week later, and I saw they had a large stack, probably about that thick, at the snack bar way in the corner of the poster. I'm sorry, of the counter. And I'm like, oh crap, let me grab those. So I took them home, and then I noticed something about them was different. The poster's bigger. And the poster's bigger because it's an IMAX poster. The other one doesn't say IMAX. It still says limited edition 2023, but it is a bigger poster with the IMAX written on it. So you can see that that's, so of course I had to grab, I didn't want to be a hog. So I did grab a few more of the IMAX poster just to, you know, just to have them as collector's items. And then I saw a poster online because each theater did, they had, or I don't know how they really worked it, but different theaters had different posters. So I ordered this one off of eBay because I love the poster and I love the cruciformed key. So here's a poster of him where his shadow is the key and it's being lit like the fuse. At the beginning of the movie, it still says limited edition 2023. And I love this poster. I love that everything on these are done like shadows. So these are the ones that I have hanging on my wall. Those I have in a box in storage. And they just sit there for whatever, until whatever happens. So I made this one. I showed in the Tom Cruise Blu-rays that Paramount came out with a special edition Days of Thunder Blu-ray. I love the cover for that. So I found a high-res picture online and I made my own poster for it. I really like this poster a lot. So I have it up on my wall. I love the colors. I love that it's all bright here, then it's like white here. It still has the Paramount, Pictures logo up there, the 1990s. So it's the front of the Blu-ray. I really like that. Then I purchased this one, and I wasn't 100%. I didn't want to get like multiple copies of things, except unless maybe it's like Mission Impossible. So I got this. So this is the Jack Reacher. These are all official. Now we're into official posters. The Days of Thunder one is one that I made. So this is a much bigger. This is not an 8x10. I'm sorry, 11x15. The other one was like an 8x10 or maybe a little bit bigger. So this is for Jack Reacher, Never Go Back. It's got the Dolby Cinema on it. And 2016 is when this poster was given out to people. I liked it at the time, but I wasn't like a huge fan of it. And I'm like, I don't know, I like the poster, but it's not great. So I ordered this one for the original Jack Reacher, which I like better. I like that it's got the colors, things are out of focus in the background. I just like this poster better. Plus, I like the first film better too. So this one is really nice. So this is like the 11x15 is what I said. I think 11x17 is what I meant to say. 11x17. Not sure the dimensions of the other poster. My favorite Tom Cruise movie, and I think I mentioned this in both of the videos, is Vanilla Sky. So I did pick up like a replica of the poster for that. This might have been handed out when the movie came out. I'm not sure, but it's probably like a replica of the poster. So not everything is original. Don't hit that. So here is one where I framed that poster from Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. So this is, I ordered one and she sent me two. Plus another poster in here that I'll mention, the person that was on eBay, which is awesome. I only ordered one poster and she sent me three. So that seller got a great review. This is the other poster that she sent me. This is for Top Gun Maverick. So this is one that was given out when Top Gun Maverick came out. So it even has right here the official stamp on it. And this was fan exclusive because it was done on a fan screening, 2022. So this one I definitely have framed and hanging up. The first Top Gun Maverick, because I didn't see Top Gun Maverick the first on that fan. I just saw it the first day that it came out in the theaters. So I did order this poster from eBay, and I loved this. I liked this better than the last one I just showed. because I think it's interesting art. And it is official. So here it is, the limited edition. Well, this is limited edition. Well, this one says fan exclusive. Ooh, what are the different? I have no idea what the difference is. Okay, so they say two different things. I love this art. I love this type of art. So when I saw this, I had to buy it. I think this did come with the pin. That's the Top Gun Maverick pin. So I think the seller was selling both. So I really like that. And then being a big fan of the Mission Impossible movies, it's my favorite action franchise. I did buy a few posters. These may not be of my favorite Mission Impossible films. Fallout is still my favorite, but I absolutely love this poster. So Rogue Nation is one of my favorites, but I really like this poster a lot. And it introduces Rebecca Ferguson. So, which I love. And then there's the scene where like his knee, I think it's his knee, hits the ground and he quickly pulls it back up. So I really like this. Oh, shoot. Breaking stuff. This is the first Tom Cruise poster that I purchased. I said, I'm not going to buy any more. I just want one Tom Cruise poster from Mission Impossible, and I'll buy it for the new one. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do. Well, so this poster is interesting because this is vinyl. It's not paper. And I find, and it's, you probably can't see it, but you can actually see, if you look closely, that it is vinyl and not paper. You can kind of see it along here too. So it's like a rubber. And that's how the person was selling it. I don't know why. Maybe because if water gets on it, you could just clean it, or like you drip coffee or something from your Top Gun Maverick mug. It will wipe up. But I just found that weird. So I bought it that way. And I thought that was kind of cool. So this is the Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 poster. And it's got, pretty much everybody on it. So I really like that poster too. I love that they do the name and all the credits, and then they put the whole cast up. Cruise, of course, is always the biggest, but it's always the whole cast. I dig that. As the franchise went on, the posters got more involved with the people that are in the movie. It's not just a picture of Tom Cruise. And then the last one is my framed IMAX. I just happen to own a frame that would fit that IMAX poster. So I took out what was in it, which didn't fit, and which I think was this poster, just without the IMAX, and replaced it with this. So now this is like the center of the posters. So I think all of these are very cool. I'll probably get more, except my walls are jam-packed with bookcases of movies, kind of like what's behind me here, but throughout the entire apartment. Maybe one day I'll do a tour of the apartment and show everything I have, because it's, even the Funko Pops now are getting out of control. Now we're going to look at next VHS. I think I'm sticking with the order I said. And these are ones that I'm probably not just going to keep collecting and collecting. I just wanted a few just to have. And I am collecting Michael Bay VHS. I only had one, which was Armageddon. I did just find The Rock. So they're both up there. And my Tom Cruise DVDs are right here, actually. They're all here. A little messy because I had to get behind them to pull out some of these movies. So the VHS that I have of Tom Cruise. So these are in order, I guess. First, we have Top Gun. I figured if you're going to own one Tom Cruise movie on VHS, it's got to be Top Gun. I worked this as an usher at a movie theater called the Cinema, that at the time was owned by George Lucas and Francis Ford Coppola in Marin County. So all the big movies went there. Great sound system and all that. So this played for like a year. I mean, it played until there was like only one person in the audience, but this thing was massive. It is a Tony Scott film. And I always try to find good looking copies. I don't. Some of these I did get at Zia Records, and they've come to realize that people do collect VHS. So they used to be just like 99 cents. Now they're like, 99 cents, $2, $5, $10, depending on what it is. So I guess they're looking that stuff up. But this one looks pretty good. So I'm happy with this one. The next one I found is Days of Thunder. Very happy about this one. This is also Tony Scott. So far, both these films are Don Simpson, Jerry Bruckheimer. Then we have Mission Impossible, the original. So this is Brian De Palma. This film also stars Emilio Estevez at the very beginning. I say that for a reason. And I picked this one up because it's got some added stuff on it. So this is Mission Impossible 2, Paramount Pictures Special Edition. Includes over 45 minutes of bonus features available for the first time on VHS. So it's at the end of the movie. So you watch the movie, and then there's 45 minutes of bonus stuff on there. I remember they were starting to do that with these, but I didn't realize that they did it with like big movies, like, the Mission Impossible films. So special edition, it says, includes Mission Incredible Stunts Featurette, Mission Shots, 11 Amazing Stunt Sequences, Mission Improbable, a MI2 inspired parody from the MTV Movie Awards. So I thought that was cool. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to pick it up because of that. I might get part 3 if I find it, because I think after part 3, that's it. I think they stopped VHS on those. But I don't know if Vanilla Sky is available on VHS. I might pick that up too. Now, this one is an interesting one. This one I ordered off of eBay, and I ordered it for one reason and one reason only. Tom Cruise is an actor and a producer, and he's probably a ghost like script writer. He has only directed one thing. That is it. One thing, and I don't know why. He probably just wanted to see what it was like to direct something, to have his name on it. And it was for this series, Fallen Angels. And you can see right here, directed by Tom Cruise. So he directed one episode. There's 3 stories on here. It says 3 dark tales from the city of angels. It's got a whole bunch of actors in it. So these are kind of like film noir short stories. This was originally, who brought this out? It says Polygram Video, but this could have been like Showtime or HBO. I'm not sure. But Tom Cruise directed the one that's called The Frightening Frammies. Has Peter Gallagher, Nancy Travis, Isabella Rossellini. So it's this first one that's right here. So you can find this on YouTube. That's where I discovered it. And then I said, you know what? I want to own it. So I literally have everything. This one has a few extra stickers on it that, whatever. But otherwise, the box is in really good condition. So it's got even its rental stickers on it. Okay, so those are all my VHS. Now, these are some new additions to the movie collection. They're mostly all DVD. No, I take that back. They're DVD and Blu-ray. Two of these you might have already seen. I know one of them you have in the DVD Tom Cruise video. I'm not sure about the other one though, so that's why I'm including it. So I'd mentioned Emilio Estevez. So in Francis Ford Coppola's The Outsiders, it stars Tom Cruise and Emilio Estevez. They're on the greaser side, and they're friends in the movie. I'm guessing for a while at least, they were friends outside of that because Emilio Estevez, like I said, is in the very first Mission Impossible. He's part of the first Mission Impossible team, and they all get killed at the beginning of the movie. And then he has to put together a whole new team. And so Emilio Estevez is in Young Guns. This is the special edition. It's got this huge cast of basically Brat Pack people, which is awesome. And I own this because it's Young Guns. I own this because it's part of the Brat Pack. I own this because it's a Western and because it's just an awesome movie in general. But why it's being included in this today is because Tom Cruise is in the movie. Here's a little booklet. Oh, I own this. So this talks about the film. Tom Cruise is in this for literally a blink of an eye. So I'm going to try to find, and I'll put it in the link below, the Fallen Angels episode. Tom Cruise in Young Guns, because people have analyzed it. And then that 30 seconds of Tom Cruise from Endless Love. So you guys could take a look at that stuff. So you don't. So what it is that in Young Guns, there are, I think it's a posse. I think they're the regulators. And they're fighting it out. They're doing a gunfight with Emilio Estevez, who's Billy the Kid, and his guys in a building. And you see somebody go up with like a fake nose. He's got a hat and he's got like a scarf, I think. And he goes up and he starts shooting. That thing cuts to, I think it's Charlie Sheen who fires. And then you see that guy fall backwards and he dies. That's Tom Cruise. If you pause it, you could tell it's Tom Cruise. My guessing is he's, him and Emilio Estevez are friends. He visits the set. They either offer it to him or maybe he says, hey, can I be in the movie? But I don't want people to know who I am. And they're like, oh yeah, we need gunfighters. We need this posse to be shooting at this building. He's like, perfect. Throw a fake nose on me and I'm in the movie. That's what I'm guessing. And so I don't think he's in the credits. I don't think anywhere. This is just kind of like Tom Cruise lore. And of course, if I bought, Young Guns. So I had to buy Young Guns Part 2 or Young Guns 2. There was no part on it. So, which I actually like better than the original, but this does not have Tom Cruise. I'm just saying, if you buy Part 1, you got to buy Part 2. Then, now, On the Tom Cruise Blu-ray video I did, I had mentioned this film, but just as a Blu-ray, and it has a comic book and all that. There's this thing called a digibook. It originally started with DVD, where they would remove the plastic casing and put on a paper sleeve to basically better for the environment. They started doing that also with Blu-rays, but the Blu-rays are more collector sets. And 3 of Tom Cruise's movies are digibooks. So I have all 3 of them. So that's why I'm going to show you the one also that I had in the other video, because it's part of the digibook collection. So the first one that I have is The Mummy. So now I own 2 versions of The Mummy. And you can see down here, it says collectible packaging with Anne Hamnett Reborn graphic novel. Only at Best Buy. So I always keep these things. So let's see. Just a little piece of like glue. Okay, there we go. I'll show you the back of this. So that's what it looks like taken off. So they're thicker and they look more like books. And inside, digital stuff, free movie. So there's the film. And then here is the graphic novel. This one is stuck in the book. It's like embedded in the book. It actually looks really nice. I wonder if this is available as an actual graphic novel, because I would purchase that, so I wouldn't have to ruin this. So you have over here, oh, that's the DVD. And then at the back, you have the Blu-ray. And I don't, and it's just black. And over here, probably the same thing. Yeah, just black. And then that just goes back in its sleeve here. Get the glue back on there. Okay. Then the other one is, and I didn't have this before, so I now own 3 versions of this: the regular Blu-ray, the steel book, and now the digibook. And that's for Jack Reacher. And it doesn't have the stickers on it, which I wish it did. But you can see it's thicker. Got the back. And then inside, that's where you get the comic book. So you got the movie, which is the regular film, which is the one that I also own. Digital stuff. And then you get, by Lee Child, a Jack Reacher or a Reacher story, Second Son. So this one is not a comic book. This is an actual story. I know it's because of the light. It's, can you see? Oh, kind of right. Hold on. No, not really. Verify. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. Oh, there we go. So it's a short story. That's, there we go. So that's kind of cool. And then it just slides back in. And then the last one is, and this is where I kind of started thinking about stuff after I did that video. So Jack Reacher, Never Go Back. See, it's got all these stickers on it. This one says includes a Jack Reacher exclusive illustrated short story. And then this is all the digital stuff here. So you can see it's thicker. So you take this out. There's the regular movie. And what's interesting about this, and maybe because it's for the the Blu-ray, that looks like Tom Cruise. So Lee Child, everyone talks. So he must have given his okay to use his image on here. So let's see. Oh shit. Okay, so that's him in bed, but you don't, like at a hospital, but you don't see his face. Yeah, that looks like Tom Cruise. So he must have given his okay. You see the back of him there. Looks like he's in court. Him walking there, but it does kind of look like him. Dead guy. Yeah, that definitely looks like him. And then he's getting on a bus, but you don't see him. So, yeah, so he must have given his okay for this one. Try to get this back in here without. Oh, come on, stuff. There we go. I know. Things always get stuck. Okay, there we go. Okay, so then this one was in the Tom Cruise DVD one. But I wanted to include it because it's the original version of Eyes Wide Shut. And the director of this did go on to do the others, which Cruise produced and Nicole Kidman starred in. So it's the same director. So open your eyes. Penelope Cruz is in this one, and she's also when she's in. No, I'm sorry. I said Eyes Wide Shut. Vanilla Sky. My bad. I always get the two confused. I actually did watch a video where they talked about how they're connected. So I think that's my confusion between Eyes Wide Shut, which is also based on a book, and Vanilla Sky, which is a remake of this film. But I think I get them confused from time to time because there is a video on YouTube that's like, oh no, I think these films are connected. But this is the original Spanish film, Penelope Cruz. She's awesome in Vanilla Sky. And I still haven't watched this, and I really do need to. I've heard it's excellent. I've heard it's better than the remake, better than Vanilla Sky. And then this would be one of the newest additions, and that would be Reacher season 1. So I'm going to watch this. I'm going to watch at least the first couple episodes. If you've been watching my stuff, I've been collecting season 1s of things, and then I watch them, and if I like them, I'll collect more, or if they're available for streaming, easily, then I'll watch them there. But from what I understand, the author Lee Child prefers this over the Tom Cruise versions because this is what Jack Reacher looks like. He's like over 6 foot tall. The guy looks like a linebacker, where Tom Cruise is like 5'4" and doesn't. So, and I've heard that this is just a really good show too. I want to check it out. It's got its slip jacket. It's got the clear box that I like. Sadly, when it got shipped to me in the mail, it's freaking broken. Have to fix that. So we got disc 1, disc 2, and disc 3. Looks like there's descriptions on this side of each episode. So there's 3 episodes per disc. Looks like 9 episodes total. Yeah, even that's broken right there. It's either happened in the mail or it was not described properly in the description when I purchased it. Then there's Reacher there. Broken on this side too. And I got to be careful with this. Okay, so that's all the regular stuff. So now we're going to get into films that Tom Cruise is not involved with, but these directors have directed their films. And I've added a couple more at the end for other things. So I found this list on IMDb of Tom Cruise directors. And this was pretty cool. So I'm going in the order of this list. Some of these people I don't own other movies of, and some I do. So there's like Franco Zeffirelli. He directed the original, the famous Romeo and Juliet from 1968. He did Endless Love. I don't own anything from him except for Endless Love. There's Harold Beaker, who I think is a good director. He directed a movie called Malice that has Nicole Kidman in it. It's actually a good film. He did Taps. Now Francis Ford Coppola. So he did Outsiders. He also did Rumblefish. And what I own from him, well, I own a few things from him, but these are the two I picked. So this is the Apocalypse Now collection on Blu-ray. It's the final cut, but it has the 4K Ultra HD. So 4K Ultra HD plus Blu-ray and digital, 40th anniversary edition, 6-disc set. Includes Apocalypse Now, Redux, and Hearts of Darkness, which was not on that complete collection that was on DVD. This is a great set. So this is it here. If you love Apocalypse Now like I do, this is really awesome to pick up. This is kind of like the Blade Runner box set that has all the versions. So this has the original Apocalypse Now. It's got the Redux. It's got the final cut. It's got the documentary. This thing has everything. And the nice thing is I can watch the Blu-ray. I don't have 4K yet. So all the versions are on 4K. They're also on Blu-ray. Then with Coppola, of course, The Godfather. So this is the Godfather collection on DVD. I did buy the new version of Godfather 3 on Blu-ray. And this has the 3 films and a documentary. So if we're going in, so here's Godfather 1. That upside down. Godfather 2. And this is a double disc. Yeah, so it looks like it's the movie on 2 discs. Maybe because it's DVD, they couldn't fit the whole thing on 1 disc. Then, of course, there's, Michael, and then we got De Niro there as Don Corleone. And then, Marlon Brando there. And then this is part 4, which is weird, is that it has a picture of, no, that must be the documentary. There we go. Here's part 3. Did I say part 4? Part 3. So there's Michael there. I like Godfather 3. It has huge flaws. I actually don't like the Coda is the new one. I don't like that new cut. I like this one much better. I think the theatrical version is much better than the new one. This is the documentary. That's a pretty good documentary. I think it's called The Godfather Family. It's also on VHS. That's how I originally saw it. And then it goes back into its sleeve. Now, the next director is Curtis Hanson. He also he did Losing It, which is one of the first Tom Cruise movies. Just like The Outsiders. There's two versions of The Outsiders. I highly recommend. I showed them off in the DVD video. I highly recommend getting both of those if you want to collect Tom Cruise's stuff. They're both worth getting. They're different movies. A lot of the same, but different. So I only have one Curtis Hanson film. I thought I had LA Confidential, but I don't. This is one of my all-time favorite obsession films. I did write an obsession screenplay that I would love to get made. And a lot of that was inspired by this, along with the film The Roommate and the movie The Stepfather. So this is The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. I love this movie. I love the other. This is, even though LA Confidential is probably his best movie, I don't know. I think I love this film. I think this is a great movie. So if you want a good obsession film, I would watch this one. The next director is it's Paul Brickman. He directed Risky Business, but I don't have anything from him. He did like True Crime, Uprising. I don't have anything else from him except for Risky Business. The next guy is Michael Chapman, who's primarily a cinematographer. He did direct All the Right Moves. And I do have two films that he was a cinematographer on. So I included those. One of them is Evolution, which is a fun movie, kind of an X-Files, Ghostbusters type thing. Ivan Reitman. Yeah, Ivan Reitman directed this. I think this is, if it's not coming out, I'm just going to leave it. Oh no, I think it is like a little booklet. Talks about the film. It's a fun movie. It's not perfect, but it's fun. It's got a good cast. And he was also the cinematographer on Primal Fear, the Richard Gere film. And that is Edward Norton's, like his first film, or at least the first film that he was really known for. It's a really good film. This is actually a good set. I realized after I picked it up that it's kind of the Edward Norton triple feature. So he's an Italian job and the score also, which has Marlon Brando and Robert De Niro. And we just looked at The Godfather. Then the director after that is Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott, of course, did Legend, but he is mostly known for probably Alien and Blade Runner. So here is Alien. This is the anthology. So it's basically you got Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection. So it's the quadology. This is, I like that cover. This is a great box set. I mean, this is a really nice box set. We'll just quickly thumb through it here. It pulls out like a book, and then you open it. It's got a little thing about the movies. It's got then the movie itself, and that's kind of how it works through this. This is something that nobody borrows from me. It's way too delicate. I mean, this is all paper. And if you don't pull the things out right or turn the pages the right way, it could just rip right out. You also get anthology archives. This has, and you got like a booklet right there. This has both the theatrical and like director's cuts or producer's cuts or assembly cuts, studio cuts on it. These have all the documentaries, which are friggin' awesome. This is a great box set to own. So this is Disc Unbound, Mother Mode. So I guess you could put these into different modes. And then there's this little booklet thing that comes with it. So talks about the different discs. Yeah, what's exactly on them. So that gives you an example of like the chapters and everything. This is a great box set. This really is. This is one of my all-time favorite box sets. And then it just fits right back in. And then for the second Ridley Scott film, I thought I would do All the Money in the World. It's the film that Christopher Plummer won Best Actor for, but it's a lesser-known movie from him. I really enjoyed this. It's got a good cast in it. It also has Mark Wahlberg and Michelle Williams. This is the film that Kevin Spacey got fired from after all that, Me Too stuff was happening with him, and he got replaced by, Christopher Plummer, who then won the Academy Award. This is a good movie. I think I picked this up at Dollar Tree when it came out. Then after Ridley Scott, there was Tony Scott, because we went from Legend to Top Gun. And Tony Scott was Top Gun and Days of Thunder. So what I have from him is, and I thought that this was appropriate. So this is the Beverly Hills Cop 3-movie collection. So it has parts 1, 2, and 3. Jonathan Moody and myself over on his channel, so Indie Film Cafe, we just did a very lengthy review, discussion, argument, where we also annoyed each other, where we got way off topic at times, which is why it's so long. Review of Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. And but this is the first 3. And Tony Scott directed Beverly Hills Cop 2, which a lot of people think is better than Beverly Hills Cop 1. It's definitely better than part 3. That is for sure. The second one for Tony Scott is I wanted to do this one. I mentioned this on the video, which was a tribute to him. Deja Vu. It's with Denzel Washington. Look at that cover. That is really cool. That's actually why I didn't pick this up on Blu-ray. Otherwise, I would. Sometimes I pick stuff up just because the cover looks great. This is it's a science fiction film. It's Tony Scott teamed up with Jerry Bruckheimer. And as it even says, from the producer of Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, and the director of Enemy of the State, which is a kind of sequel to The Conversation. It says the surveillance window bonus experience. Unlock the secrets of deja vu before they happen in the film. So this is kind of a cool, God, it's kind of like a time travel movie, but he puts on a device where you could see the future. I really like this movie, and he falls in love with this woman, and he's trying to save her by using this device where he could see what's going on before it happens, so she doesn't get involved in it. So it's a good film. I like it. There's Val Kilmer right there. So we lost a great director with Tony Scott. One of my favorites. The creator of chaos cinema, which then Michael Bay kind of took over. Okay, so then the director after this would be Martin Scorsese. Oddly, I only own one movie from him. I thought I owned Goodfellas, but I don't. And God, I only own one movie from him. I should slap myself. And that's Taxi Driver. And it comes in one. Now, I don't know if this is technically a digibook, but it does come in that book format. So when you open it, there's the movie. We got some pictures. This is that back piece that I always keep. So it's like that. And there's these. Wow, there's a bunch of them. Oh, man. They just keep falling out. So you get these pictures with it. So we'll quickly go. So here's the poster. So these come with it. Oops. These are really cool. They're done on thick paper too. Famous shot. Another famous shot. So these are cool. Gonna keep the poster on top. And then they just slide back in here. Maybe I'll open this. Come on. There they go. And then the back looks like this. Okay. Next director is Roger Donaldson. He did Cocktail. So the one I got from him, I got two here. Two of my favorite actors, collecting all their stuff now. This one is Kevin Costner. So No Way Out, which also has Gene Hackman. This is an early Kevin Costner film. It's one of those films that people went to go see because of the twist at the end. Then the other film that I have from Roger Donaldson is Jason Statham in The Bank Job. I actually didn't know at first that he directed this. I have not seen this one yet. I picked it up because it's Jason Statham, and it's like, oh, good, it's Roger Donaldson at the same time. Some of these are double whammies. The next director would be Barry Levinson, who did Rain Man. I've met Barry Levinson once, decades ago, when I was in Marin County working at a video store called Broadway Video. He came in around Academy Awards time. This is when Wag the Dog was was up for an Academy Award. And he came into the video store and I was like, oh my God. And he was talking to me about Titanic. That's the one that eventually won. And I made a comment to him that Titanic is Star Wars for chicks. And he laughed at that. He thought that was funny. So I've had an interaction, with him. And he also did a great film, of course, called, 10 Men Diner. He has a found footage film that I must get one day. It's on Blu-ray called The Bay. It is a great 4th of July movie. It's a horror film. I'm really surprised they got him to do it. So yeah, right now I just don't own anything by him except for Rain Man. Next director would be Oliver Stone. This one I purposely picked because Oliver Stone, one of his first movies, is with Michael Caine, and it's called The Hand. And this is one of those films that basically almost killed him in Hollywood. After this, he did do Platoon, and then that pretty much he was, off and running. This is a Scream Factory film. It's a Scream Factory release. And it's got like a picture. It's pictures from the movie. And then the film that won Michael Douglas the Academy Award, Wall Street. So I'll do one bad and one good. Well, I like The Hand. I like both of these movies. Greed is good. I also like the sequel. Not as good, but I enjoyed it. The next director is Ron Howard. And I picked this one, which is Grand Theft Auto. There's also Eat My Dust on here. These are both Roger Corman films. So I showed this on my Roger Corman video, my tribute to Roger Corman. Basically, Corman said to Ron Howard, if you act and Eat My Dust, you can direct Grand Theft Auto. And that's what happened. So, so we got that. That's one of Ron Howard's first directing jobs. It's got notes here from Corman. It's got the special features. There's Eat My Dust, Grand Theft Auto. It's also like posters and stuff from it. And the other film I have from him, because I really don't even own that many Ron Howard films. I want to own the Da Vinci films, but we just haven't gotten around to it. I'm not a huge Ron Howard directing fan. I like him as an actor, and I liked some of the other stuff that he Arrested Development. I love Arrested Development, but so I do have Solo, which I did collect the Star Wars stuff for a little bit, just because I'm a completist, but I've just stopped. I only own the movies. I own none of the TV shows. But Ron Howard was a replacement director on this. Kathleen Kennedy, who sucks beyond belief, fired the two directors, the original directors. Ron Howard reshot 90% of this movie, and it still bombed. So this was the first Star Wars film to lose money. Digital stuff. Okay, so next is Rob Reiner. Oh, and Ron Howard did Far and Away. That's the Tom Cruise movie that he did. Oliver Stone did Born on the 4th of July. I forgot to mention that. Rob Reiner did A Few Good Men. So I only have one film from him. Why do I not own This Is Spinal Tap? That is really friggin' weird. But I only own one movie from him, and I basically got that because it's Stephen King, and that's Misery. So he directed Misery. He also started Castle Rock Entertainment because he's a huge Stephen King fan. So he's been involved in other Stephen King movies, but this is the only one that I own right now. And this does have like a little booklet with it. It's interesting. And they used to, when they did these, they would show you the difference between widescreen and standard of the picture that you're losing if you're just getting standard. I remember we used to make copies of this type of stuff at the video store to hand out to people because people would return movies that were widescreen saying that they're losing picture on the top and the bottom. And we'd be like, no, you're gaining picture. So we would hand out these pieces of paper. After this would be Sidney Pollack, who I did talk about it in detail on those videos, on the other two Tom Cruise videos. Sidney Pollack is one of my favorite directors, but I don't own anything by him. He's also one of my favorite actors, and I have nothing to show for him. So he did direct The Firm. He played Ross Geller's dad on Friends. I think he's a great actor and a great director, and it is very sad that I do not own anything from him. So I apologize. He also directed, stuff like Tootsie, which is a great movie with Dustin Hoffman. The next would be Neil Jordan. He did Interview with the Vampire, and I have from him only one movie, and that is Greta. This is something that I picked up at Dollar Tree. He's also directed things like, I think it's In Dreams, The Crying Game. Oh, Sidney Pollack also directed like Absence of Malice, 3 Days of the Condor. Great, like I said, he's a great director. Great 70s director. So this is Neil Jordan. After Neil Jordan comes Brian De Palma, who directed the original Mission Impossible movie. So what I have from him is Scarface, which is written by Oliver Stone. Oliver Stone was originally going to direct this, but he dropped out, and Brian De Palma took over. This is the gold edition. I think it's like an anniversary. Yeah, the 35th anniversary reunion edition. And then the other film that I have from him is, so that's one of his best. This is not one of his best. The Black Dahlia. It even says from the director of Scarface. This is about the murder of the actress in Hollywood that has never been solved. It's got a good cast, a very interesting story, but because they never caught who did it, the film is, it just ends without a, really like a proper conclusion. But I still liked it because it's De Palma. So okay, so the next stack is right over here. So I got to kind of figure out how to grab these. Okay, so the next one is Cameron Crowe, and he did Jerry Maguire and Vanilla Sky. Unless it's Tom Cruise related, I don't own anything from him. He did do Say Anything, which I do need to own. And then he did that horrible film, which I think killed his career, Aloha. And there's the great video of Emma Stone when they're at the awards show and she's off screen and the presenter criticizes Aloha and you can hear her voice from the back going, "I'm sorry." I laugh every time I hear it. If you can find it on YouTube, watch it. It is hilarious. Of course, he also wrote Fast Times at Ridgemont High. His first directing gig, I believe, was The Wildlife, which is like an unofficial sequel. So I don't have anything to show from him. The next director would be Stanley Kubrick, and he did Eyes Wide Shut. So I got two from him. One, of course, being The Shining, Stephen King. It is appropriate that this is called Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, because this is definitely not Stephen King's The Shining. I know it's sacrilege, but even though this is visually better, I do think the mini series is better because it's closer to the book, and I am a little bit of a I like stuff being as close to the book as possible. So a purist, I guess you could say. It's a 2-disc. So movie, special features. Gotta kind of figure out how to put these. And then I also got from him, I picked this up from the Goodwill, and that's Full Metal Jacket, which I think is one of his best movies. I love Full Metal Jacket. R. Lee Remy is in this, but he's also in Apocalypse Now because he was a military advisor to filmmakers, and he was also an actor. But this is where we all got to know him from. No, this is just talking about how they make the finest discs around. And then after Kubrick, there's Paul W.S. Anderson, who I don't own anything from. He did Magnolia, but he also did Punch Drunk Love, Boogie Nights, which I need to own, but I don't own anything except for Magnolia from him. John Woo is Mission Impossible 2, He did stuff like, Hard Boiled, A Better Tomorrow, Hard Target with Van Damme. But I don't own anything with him outside of Mission Impossible 2. Jay Roach, he directed Austin Powers in Goldmember. And what I have from him, he directed all 3 Austin Powers films, actually. I have Trumbo. He's become a very political director, but his stuff is kind of more like dark comedy political stuff. So Trumbo, which is about the blacklisting, that was during the McCarthy era in Hollywood, where they would, if you even said the word like Russia or communist or communism, you were blacklisted and you were basically destroyed. We're seeing that a lot now with the Disney stuff, with, if you criticize Disney or anything that's Disney, these people, even Harry Potter and stuff, these people try to destroy your life. So we're going through very much a blacklisting right now. This is very much the McCarthy era. But this is Jay Roach. It's about Trumbo. And it's, Dalton Trumbo. It's Bryan Cranston. And then sticking with political with him, and I just rewatched this recently, The Campaign. So Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis are rivals running against each other. I find this to be kind of a weird movie because in it, Will Ferrell's character, who looks like George W. Bush, is actually Democrat, while Zach Galifianakis' character is Republican, but he acts more like a Republican and he acts more like a Democrat. So I don't know if these things were on purpose, but I like the movie. Okay, so after Jay Roach is Steven Spielberg, and Spielberg did Minority Report and War of the Worlds. What I got from him is one of the obvious ones, which is Jaws. Oh, but this isn't the Jaws. Oops. We'll hide these. So he did Jaws, which I have over there on Blu-ray. So he did Jaws, and this is the Jaws 3-movie collection. I just grabbed this because I had it with Spielberg stuff. That's funny. But he did Jaws, which is it's also like a digibook. It's got the Blu-ray DVD. It's got a booklet that comes with it. It's a great one. So this is funny because I grabbed movies that he has nothing to do with. He was going to direct Jaws 2, but then he was working on Close Encounters of the Third Kind. But this does have Jaws 2, Jaws 3, Jaws the Revenge. These are now available on Blu-ray. These were the DVDs because they had first came out on DVD. So Jaws 2 is on its own disc, and then Jaws 3 and 4 are together. I'm a fan of all of these, especially Jaws 2. So, but that's funny. Yeah. So it's there we go. Jaws. He's in Jaws. He wrote Jaws, or he directed Jaws. He was a ghostwriter on Jaws also. So that's funny. But I did grab one that he did direct, and that's 1941, which I think is a very underrated Steven Spielberg film. I love this movie. This is great. It's got an all-star cast. It bombed horribly at the box office. It is now has a cult following. I love this film. This is the collector's edition, which actually has the extended version on it. This is not the theatrical one. But this is, everybody and their brother worked on this. I'll mention a couple: Robert Zemeckis, Bob Gale, Back to the Future, John Milius, Red Dawn. This just has a ton of people on it. John Williams doing the music. Just the actors alone are amazing. Christopher Lee, Treat Williams, Tim Matheson, Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi, Murray Hamilton, Warren Oates. Come on. And it bombed. And I saw this as a kid, when I was a kid in the theater, I think probably like 2 or 3 times, and freaking loved it. I have always liked this movie. It's got its little booklet here. Okay, so then the next director is Edward Zwick, and he did The Last Samurai, what I have from him is I love this movie. It's based on a David Mamet play. I've heard Mamet is not happy with the movie, but it's about last night. I've seen this film many times. This was during the Brat Pack times for both Rob Lowe and Demi Moore. What I love about this, and James Belushi is very good at this. Elizabeth Perkins is really cute in this, even though she's very bitchy in it. But what's great is this is Demi Moore at her peak, and she's got full frontal nudity in this. For the ladies, we do get to see Rob Lowe. So we get both, something for the men, something for the ladies. So, you know, it won't disappoint either side, I don't think. And this is just when they, you know, both Rob Lowe and her, just Rob Lowe's like really in shape and just, he looks really good. I really like this movie a lot. Not just because of that, because it's also just a good film, I think. I've never seen the original play. So I only have one from him. The next guy is one of my all-time favorite filmmakers. I love the way that he makes LA look. Both him and James Cameron make LA look very blue. And I think that is exactly what LA looks like. I think that they really show LA perfectly. So that's Michael Mann. And Michael Mann did Collateral. So the two films I have for him, I got Heat. This is the regular theatrical version. I do need to pick up, I think there's like a director's cut that I need to get. So you can't even see it's blue. Heat's a great movie. Great cast. Michael Mann also did Miami Vice, the movie version of Miami Vice, which I also really liked. A lot of people didn't like that. It bombed. He then did a movie that's based on a book that deals with like gangsters and criminals and stuff. But he only took one character out of it, so a lot of people were disappointed with it. And this is a Public Enemies. I have not read the book. A friend of mine did, and he was very disappointed that they only focused on one character, who I think is Dillinger. Yeah, Dillinger. So Johnny Depp plays Dillinger in this. It's a good movie. I liked it. So I have really nothing to compare it to, but it's kind of like an encyclopedia, the book is, of all these different gangsters and criminals and robbers and stuff like that, bank robbers. But I liked it. So I think it's worth checking out. I mean, it's Johnny Depp and Christian Bale. Can't go wrong with that. The next person after Michael Mann would be J.J. Abrams, who I've come to dislike quite a bit because of what he's done with Star Trek and especially Star Wars. He directed Mission Impossible 3. Also, the writer of The Mummy and the director of The Mummy, Tom Cruise's Mummy, was the writer on Robert Kurtzman, I want to say, on Mission Impossible 3. I don't like J.J. Abrams. I think he's a ripoff artist. He does not have an original thought in his mind. He basically has destroyed Star Trek and Star Wars. Ryan Johnson has a lot to do with that too. So does Kathleen Kennedy. But I do like this, and I did mention Star Trek, but I do like his version of the reboot of Star Trek. I think this was done right, where it is kind of an alternate timeline, but yet the original timeline still exists. I like what he did with this, which is why I had no problem with him directing The Force Awakens, because I'm like, okay, if he could do for Star Wars what he did to Star Trek, I'm going to be very happy with that. Well, for me, it wasn't that way, at least. But I do like this. I do not like Into Darkness. And I thought Star Trek Beyond was fine. It's got like a little book here. And then there's the Blu-ray special features, and then this is it's a game. It's a free game. It's an Xbox game. Xbox 360 game. Oh, okay. I guess you pop it in and you get like a free trial on this game. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, 3-disc digital copy special edition. And then I just mentioned Force Awakens and Star Wars, so that's what I have for his second movie here. It's a good cover on that. I was happy with this when I originally saw it, and then Last Jedi came out, and then Rise of Skywalker, and then all the TV garbage, and I just can't stand. I like Rogue One. Solo was okay, but I've really come to dislike and hate Disney. I wish it would just burn to the ground and just not exist anymore. They're just ruining franchises, not just Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Willow, even Marvel. I mean, it's all destroyed. So all this is just a ripoff, just a New Hope. That's all it is. They never had a plan for the other movies. You got this. There's the Blu-ray, Blu-ray bonus, and then DVD. I like the black box though. I think that looks cool. Then the next filmmaker is Robert Redford. So he did Lions for Lambs. I do not own anything from Robert Redford, unfortunately. I do. It amazed me when I was going through these of how little I own from certain filmmakers. But he did like The Natural, and many other films. So it's yeah. So we moved to Ben Stiller, who did Tropic Thunder, which Cruise is in. And I have for him, I only own two of his movies, and that's Zoolander and Zoolander 2. Both of these I think I found at Dollar Tree. I like Zoolander because it has Mila Jovovich in it, who's one of my favorites. She has a cameo in the second one, but oh, this also has Penelope Cruz in it. And I love Kirsten Wiig. I think that's her right there. Okay. Then after Ben Stiller, we have Bryan Singer. Ufa. Um, oh, also, Ben Stiller did stuff like he directed The Cable Guy, which was bad with Jim Carrey. He did Reality Bites, which was fun. I kind of put it right up there with the Cameron Crowe film Singles. I think they're kind of compatible. Bryan Singer, he did Valkyrie, and which is one of my favorite Cruise films. Look Bryan Singer up. He's one of these guys that got canceled, like Kevin Spacey. But he did, X-Men at Pupil. So what I have for him is, and this is kind of a double whammy. So is The Usual Suspects, which is the first film that we know him from. Great movie. Really good movie. So I'm setting this over here. And then I have this box set, which is the X-Men and the Wolverine collection. This is Blu-ray, and it has X-Men, which is Bryan Singer, X-Men 2, which is Bryan Singer. So those are my other two, I guess you could say, Bryan Singer films. It also has X-Men Last Stand, X-Men Origins Wolverine, X-Men First Class, and the Wolverine. This is cool because you take it out, and it does have these cards. Oh, they're like okay, so they're like trading cards, kind of. They're just huge. So you have Wolverine, and then you flip it, and then it has like his history. So we'll quickly go through. And figure out how to put these in correctly. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So they So Magneto, they show the young Magneto, and then on the back, they show the older version of Magneto. And then they do the same thing. Yeah, Beast, here's the young version, then here's the older version. I think they do that with all of them. Cyclops, Wolverine would be the same. And then, yeah, Professor X, Stewart, and then there's the younger version of him. Storm, same front and back on Storm. Stryker, yeah, younger on the front, older on the back. Sabretooth, same on the front and back. Iceman, same on the front and back. Mystique, I think same on the front and back. I think. Shadowcat. I don't know enough. Oh, also known as Kitty Pryde. I think she would be the same. Phoenix or Jean Grey, same on the front and back. And then Rogue, same on the front and back. So those are cool. A lot of this stuff I got off of eBay. I know this I got off of eBay. And then the movie itself, we got the front, the back. Then each film is on its own disc, but it's only like disc one. So if it came with a second disc by itself, they're not in here. So X-Men, X-Men 2, X-Men Last Stand, X-Men Origins Wolverine, X-Men First Class, and then the Wolverine Blu-ray. And it looks like they got their credits and stuff right there. Probably the same here. Yeah. And then this fits back in its box. It's here. Okay. So the next director is James Mangold. He did Night and Day. I have two versions of that. I have the the international one, which is longer by 10 minutes, and then I also have the American one. He did Logan, which is a great film, and then he did Indiana Jones and the Dial of Dysentery, which sucked. And I used to like him a lot until he started just being a dick with Indiana Jones. I'm sorry, people don't like it. Get over it. You made a shitty movie. It bombed. But I love this film. And I think, yeah. So Identity. If you've not seen Identity, you should. This is a great movie. It is really good. It's got a great cast in it. And he also did Copland, which is also really good. I think if Steven Spielberg is going to drop out and not direct Indiana Jones, I think you probably just shouldn't make it. Plus, Phoebe Waller-Bridge being in it and helping write it and stuff did not help at all. I mentioned Logan. So here's his second one, Logan. So this is a 3-disc set. It's so limited edition 3-disc set, includes theatrical and Logan Noir. So it has a black and white version of the film, which is pretty cool. I think this is by far one of the best superhero films ever made. I think that they should do more of this. Digital stuff. So Logan, movie plus special features. Oh, this broke too. Logan. Wait, so what are we looking at here? Oh, this is the DVD. movie plus special features, so Blu-ray, and then Logan Noir, movie in black and white, which I still haven't watched it. I need to watch that. I love when they do stuff like that. And this box is kind of bashed up. So we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Cruise has worked with a lot of directors. Okay, then the director after that is Brad Bird, who I do not own anything from. He's primarily animation. He did do Tomorrow World with George Clooney, which is Disney. I do want to buy that. I don't own it. He did Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, so Mission Impossible 4. But I don't own anything else from him except for that. The director after that is Adam Shankman, and he did Rock of Ages, and he mostly does stuff that I don't have an interest in. So kind of like teen comedies, uh, uh, stuff like that, the Disney stuff, things that I just don't have an interest in. So he did do the remake of Hairspray, A Walk to Remember, Disenchanted, just stuff I just don't really care that much about. After that is Tom Cruise's main guy, Christopher McQuarrie. And what I have for him is I actually got 3 for him. So he did write The Usual Suspects, and he won the Academy Award for it. He then went and did Way of the Gun. He wrote and directed this. Great movie. It bombed. It bombed, unfortunately. If you haven't seen Way of the Gun, you should. It is really good. I think a lot of people just thought that it was a Tarantino ripoff, and it's not. It's not a Tarantino ripoff. It just came out around that time. He probably got it made, because people thought it was a Tarantino ripoff because all those movies were coming out. But it's not. It is really a good film. So he wrote and directed this. Then he wrote The Tourist with Johnny Depp and Angelina Jolie. Digital stuff. Taurus, I've not watched it. I really only bought it because he wrote it. He was one of the screenwriters on it. So I picked that up for that reason. The next one is, and we only have a couple left, is Joseph, I'm going to mispronounce his name, Kosinski. Oh, no, maybe I got it right. Kosinski. So he directed Oblivion and Top Gun Maverick. But I think he got the job for Oblivion for this movie right here. And I love both of these films. Tron Legacy. I have been waiting to find this whole thing here for years. When this originally came out, it was like $150 or maybe close to 200. When it went out of print, it then became very expensive. And just over time, I guess it's come down a lot in price. I wanted to make sure I got the 3D packaging on it. This is 2 movies, 5-disc combo pack. So you get the Blu-ray 3D, you get the Blu-ray in 2D, the DVD, a digital copy, and the Blu-ray original classic movie, plus collectible lithograph, which I guess would be the cover here. It says Blu-ray also plays on PS3. So technically, yeah, it's a 5-disc, but it's a 2-movie collection. You get Tron, the original classic, and Tron Legacy in 3D, but you also get it in 2D. So I wanted to get this version. Definitely get this one. They are making Tron 3, which I think is called like Eros, Tron Eros, something like that. I'll have to watch a trailer and see how that is. But this is really good. Here's all the discs, the movies here. You pop this off. It's the regular front there. Olivia Wilde is just gorgeous in this movie. God, she's beautiful in this film. And then Tron Uprising. Oh, I think which was like a little web series. So there's a booklet here about Tron, about 3D, Disney stuff. Oh, this is, oh, maybe this is the lithograph. That was the 3D thing. No, this is the lithograph. Yeah, that's the lithograph. Original Tron costume with black light compositing. So this is it. That is cool. I love both Tron movies. Seen both in the theater. And then you have Blu-ray 3D. So there's Tron Legacy. Plays in Blu-ray 3D players only. So mine just happens to be a Blu-ray, 3D player. Then you get Tron Legacy. This looks just Blu-ray regular. Tron the Original Classic, Blu-ray. Tron Legacy DVD. And then it says Disney File digital copy of Tron Legacy. And that goes back in here. Pick this up if you can find it. It's a little damaged. You can see like there's a hole, but it's the best one that I could find. I'm not going to complain. So I didn't pay that much for it. All right. And I think this is our last one. Yep. Doug Liman. So Doug Liman did Edge of Tomorrow. He also did, I don't know why that's not listed on here, is American Made. His new film, and it does say in pre-production, is with Tom Cruise, and it looks like it's in outer space. So like they're literally trying to make a movie in outer space. So Lyman, we also know from Swingers, great film Swingers. But what I have here, I'm sorry for getting so close to the screen, but they're kind of far away. Is I have it's called the Bourne Classified Collection. So these are all the Bourne movies, except for Jason Bourne, which was the newest one. But it does have a slot in here where you could put it. See, it's also done kind of like a book. Jurassic Park has something similar where you could put all the movies in there. This is also like the Alien one. So we get, let's see here. So digital, get this booklet. Tells you about the characters. And then here's the actual book itself. And then you open it. So here's the Bourne Identity. Got the disc right there, just like the other one, just like the Alien one. Jurassic Park is the same way. Bourne Supremacy, the Bourne Ultimatum, Bourne Legacy, which I liked. And here's Jason Bourne, where you could buy the Blu-ray and just stick it right in, but I own it separately, so it just sits by itself. And then it's got this. Oh, then there's a bonus disc with all the bonus features on it right there. So for this, Doug Liman only directed the first film. He just directed The Bourne Identity. So I think that's, yeah. So that's the last director. And then I have a couple here that are, let me just grab them all. Once again, sorry for my face being in the screen. And then I have two more just as a writer. So Robert Towne, I have brought up in the other two videos. So I just wanted to show the two that Tom Cruise was not involved with. The first one being Personal Best. This is from the Archive Warner Brothers collection. He was the writer director on this, but and I've shown this before in the I think like in the Tom Cruise DVDs. But I just want to give him a shout out because he is one of our best writers. Good director, but a great writer. And then also a film that should have been great. It's good, not great. Tequila Sunrise. He wrote and directed this. Great cast in this. Mel Gibson, Michelle Pfeiffer, Kurt Russell. Nicely shot. Good in this case. Really, good directing. Writing was okay, but still, great writer. Just overall. I think that's it. My God, we made it. We made it through everything. That is it. That is everything. I'm going to show you. Look at all this. Look. Look at all that. There's so much. And then above there, that's there's the two Michael Bay VHS up there. But man, there was so much here. So thank you so much. If you made it through this whole video, thank you. Thank you so much. And like I said, I wanted to get everything. So there's no other videos until something new comes out. And yeah, I guess that's it. So thank you very much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. And it's going to be fun putting all this stuff away. I bet it's going to take like an hour to put all this stuff away, but I think it's worth it. I like this video. I like so far. I like how it came out, and yeah, and I hope that you did too. So I guess that's it. Go support Tom Cruise and buy his stuff. I guess that's it. All right. Thanks, everybody. Please like, subscribe, comment if you like about Tom Cruise or anything that you've seen on here. I really do appreciate you watching my videos, and especially the long ones like this. And I will see you on the next video. All right. Bye.